What really is a calorie? An article from my Science and Engineering short series. Hello, readers and viewers. I hope all is well with you today. In this short article from my Science and Engineering shorts, I explain what a calorie really is. So, what is a calorie? Calorie is a term that is actually an incredibly important part of science, but was commandeered by corporations and the fitness industry. In my opinion, it is one of those travesties of corporate interference that makes one wonder if it was by accident. Let me explain. Scientifically, a calorie is so prevalent in the sciences that it has several standardized names, defining it in several different branches of the sciences. You can take a look at the Wiki Calorie page that I have linked. These are more professional definitions and take into account temperature and gas solutions within water, etc. However, a very good standard measure of a calorie is the amount of energy it takes to heat 1 cubic centimeter of air-free water, that's 1 gram as defined in the metric system, by 1 degree Celsius at standard atmospheric pressure. If you peruse the wiki page definitions, you will see the joules rating between the definitions varies slightly from approximately 4.182 joules to around 4.204 joules. These differences occur because, unlike what mass media would like you to think, scientists do not know everything. In fact, science can be quite relative sometimes, which is one of the reasons why populations are subject to the use of poisonous substances for decades. Then science figures out there is a problem, and all of a sudden, what was everywhere is considered toxic. Anyone want to smoke? In the 1950s, established science was used to defend cigarettes and even tout their health benefits. I kid you not. Science has become quite a business now, and where money and corporations go, corruption and malfeasance are sure to follow. For a standard definition, the mean calorie is used, which translates into the definition I gave earlier and equates to approximately 4.182 joules. Okay, but it gets even crazier. When the US was mandating calorie labeling on foods, etc., corporations lobbied and got the labeling changed so that food is listed in kilocalories. That is, thousands of calories. This means if a food has the energy value of 1,000 real calories on your food label, it is listed as 1 cal. The reason for this was marketing by the food companies. They actually thought that people were too stupid to deal with the large numbers and would not be able to differentiate between calorie counts in different foods. So marketing on that angle would fail. This is what happens when corporations take over science. I would like to clarify, the entire food and fitness industry uses these, what are called food calorie values. So when you hear walking can burn off 100 calories per hour, etc., those are also kilocalories. This means diet and exercise balance out in their wrong by 1,000 math. But the public is kept in the dark about the real nature of science, so the apparatus of control and domination can keep executing. If you do chemistry, you will learn it, but unless you're a professional, a lifetime of food labeling will push that into the exams you took arena. For instance, I only had to master caloric thermal systems in my engineering work, where I needed to simulate thermal effects on systems, and I didn't trust the chemists on the team. So that snack you love to eat, that's 100 calories on the label, is actually 100,000 real calories, and has the energy to heat 1 cubic centimeter, that's 1 gram, of water to 100 degrees Celsius. As we all know, that means the water will boil away. 1 cubic centimeter of water is simply the 1 centimeter on your ruler measured in a cube that is made of water. You can visualize it like that or place it into a teaspoon, etc. So you will always have it in your head. Likewise, that walk, run, or workout you like to do that burns 100 calories according to the health guru you follow on YouTube is actually burning 100,000 real calories. Why am I making such a big deal about this? Well, heating calorie measure is used in chemistry extensively, which is actually the basis of most forms of human engineering of materials. You add heat to base elements, you add additives at certain temperatures, you chill for certain periods, and presto, magic. This is chemistry, which used to be called alchemy, and which today people worship as a religion. Is it any coincidence that by controlling the education system, one can control technological development? The internet has changed that a lot, but AI wants to bring it back by removing creative thought and research from individuals. Fight back. Use AI, but never ever let them use it against you.
Knowledge is power.
Understanding these core scientific principles will make you a harder target for corporations that like to hire experts to peddle their latest wares. Most of the time, this peddling is harmless. You lose some money. But sometimes this peddling can be damaging to your health and longevity. Understand how much energy the human body burns. Every human being has a resting calorie burn. That is how much energy they would burn if they stayed in bed all day, asleep. It varies by person, health level, etc. Also, these formulas that are thrown around are all approximations. Some are very good approximations, but the only truly accurate measure is the one you do upon yourself. Balancing calories burnt with calories ingested is the entire secret to not putting on fat or losing fat. A pound of fat is usually estimated to contain 3,500 calories. However, again, this is an estimate. It has proved to be in line with experimental evidence, however. This is because this estimate, which was established in the 1950s, was used as the yardstick for all health measurements going forward. This means all tools, etc., were calibrated for this 3,500 calorie equal 1 pound of fat measure, including recommended daily food intake. Through an entire lifetime of self-experimentation, through working out and being a student of both engineering and science, I can tell you, for the purposes of weight loss, using these standards is a must. All advice you get online, in books, etc., will be based upon this. I want to go on, but I have to close this article to fit it into my short series. However, I leave you with this thought. The average health calorie count
Suggested
for a meal of average everything is around 2,000, while for a female it is usually around 1,800. This assumes a relatively sedate life, a drive to work, a very short walk across the parking lot to your office, work all day behind the desk, with some trips about the office, then back home when you entertain with the electronics, then go to sleep. So 2,000 food calories equal 2 million real calories. This is enough energy to raise the temperature of 20 liters of water from 0 degrees Celsius, think water with an ice layer on top, to 100 degrees Celsius. Think water boiling away to steam as it is poured onto a very hot frying pan. Yikes, that's a lot of energy. Your body is a furnace. This is God's creation, if you believe in God. And if you don't, well, you're a great battery for the system, a la the Matrix movie. Smile. So to lose 1 pound of fat requires you burn 3,500 calories, or enough energy to boil away 35 liters of water from 0 degrees Celsius. So the next time you get on that treadmill, lift some iron, or take a walk, think for a minute that the human body is the most amazing marvel of engineering. A 170-pound frame can be moved about 35 miles for a pound of fat. However, do you know what is even more amazing? The thing that burns the most of those calories is the human brain. Baseline brain activity, just staying alive, burns about 20% of the human base calorie needs. But the brain only accounts for about 2% of the average body mass, and that's in an ideal human physique. So the next time you hear AI is power hungry, remember, once those in control have no need for workers, the workers are let go. What happens when the elite have no need for most of the world's population? What kind of letting go will they have planned for us all then? True science is beautiful. What passes as it today turns my stomach sometimes. Conflicts of interest abound. Keep searching for the truth. Take care, my dear viewers and readers. Until next time. Bye.